Hey, so today we're just going to be doing a story time on how I got stitches. And yeah, let's get started.
I want to know where I can go when you're not around, and I'm feeling down, so won't you stay?
So I'm pretty sure I was 13? No, I don't even know. I don't remember. Anyways, so I was like a teenager, right? I still am, but like I was younger, obviously. And I was living with my grandparents, but like my mom was also living with us. And me and my sister were riding bikes outside, but her bike recently got sold, so she didn't have a bike. So I just rode my brother's bike and she rode my bike. But my brother's bike didn't have brakes and it didn't have like the little padded part on the handles. So yeah, decided I could still ride it. Who cares? And you know how you're not allowed to go far. Your mom still got to see you from the porch, blah, 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 whatever. So we were just riding around like the two sides of the sidewalk and the street in the middle, whatever. We were riding the sidewalk and then around and just kept going. But where I lived, it was like barely any houses for real. And it was like hills and just, you know, and then it was a junkyard right across the street. So it was this fence right there. Across the street, and then the car was coming to me and I got really scared, and the fence was right in front of me that I was riding towards, and I kept riding, and mind you, it doesn't have brakes, and I was already uncomfortable, you know, whatever, everything I already told you. So I'm riding my bike and then I see the car and my sister's right behind, not right behind me, but like a street away. She actually looked before she rode across the street, something I should have did, but whatever. So then I just hear her yell and I was like, ah, you know. So then I ran into it, and I just remember falling, like, you know, when you're like nee. I just remember like whoosh, falling, and I didn't think nothing was wrong. So then all of a sudden I'm on the floor, and then somebody from across the street like, you okay? And I'm just like, I'm fine. And then my sister throws my bike into the street. I don't care if I was about to die, don't throw my bike. Anyway, so she threw my bike into the street, and I'm like, she just threw my bike. I didn't even care that I was like dying. So she runs towards me. She's like, you okay? You okay? You okay? I'm like, I'm fine. Just like get the bike off me, you know. So then I was walking towards the house, and it wasn't that far. And all of a sudden, we live with our grandparents, so the living room was my mom's room. So it's the first room you walk in. So I walk in the room, and my mom's on the bed, and I just didn't even look. I'm looking straight down, and I'm just walking. I'm like, you know, I'm not even looking at her. I don't even care at this point. I got to see if I'm okay. So then I go in the bathroom and I look in the mirror, and I'm just like, so then I had to take my shirt off because it was on my boob. I got stabbed in my boob, but I didn't really know at this point. I just know I was hurt because, you know, it was kind of wet. I'm like, so then I took off my shirt, and then my bra was white, and I just seen blood, and I was like, I thought I was dying. I thought my boob was about to just get chopped off, let me tell you. And I didn't even have that much meat right there. I was a child. Anyway, so girl, so then I pulled it down, and this my boobie, and then it's cut open right here, and the meat was just like it just fell, and I was like my face was like, and then so after that I'm like almost passed out. I seen all that blood. I'm like, what do I do? You know. So then I go all the way back in there, and I'm like, Mom, I think I need stitches. And then she's like, oh, you don't need stitches, girl. Just put a band-aid on it, we gonna look at it. So she look at it, she like, so then I'm in like 1,000 pieces, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I'm finna die. I'm finna bleed out. Oh my God. But I didn't bleed out, guys. You know, I'm still here. But anyway, so then my mom calls the ambulance. Excuse me. So my mom calls the ambulance to come and check me out. And we got insurance, so we Gucci. You know, we can call as much ambulance as we want. I mean, I don't know how insurance works, but Pretty sure that's how it works. And then anyways, so then it's a whole bunch of guys. Like, if y'all heard on the phone my boobie got cut open, why would y'all call a whole bunch of guys? But you know, I didn't care. I was just like, get me together, stitch me up right here, do what you gotta do. So he looks and he's like, you know, can I touch you? And I'm like, yes, sir, you can touch me, please. Anyway, so then he like, oh, he like, sweetie, you gonna lose your titty. And I'm like, at this point, we in the car. My mom came. My stepdad and my sister stayed home, which is like always the case for real. When people get hurt, it's me and my mom go and then they stay home. But my stepdad and my sister stayed home. I think my brother too, unless he was somewhere. Who cares? Anyways, so then we not even rushing. They don't even care that like I'm gonna die. So then you see my door get pushed up. That's weird. But anyway, so he don't even care that I'm about to die. And they just taking all these questions, asking me all these questions like I'm supposed to know my social security number at 10 years old. So get there and I get out, we go in the hospital. And when I tell y'all, we had to wait there for like 3 days. It felt like 3 days. I don't think it was 3 days. But luckily, it was my favorite doctor. He like a little Chinese guy. Oh my God. Luckily, it was him stitching me up. So we sat there, you know, they just took and then sat me down and they put all this water. It's like this little cup thing and then it's a bottle and they like, and then water just was all over me. Took a bath right there on the table. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, so then they put this needle in to numb everything. And at this point, I'm just like, cut it all off. What are you doing? So they're like, no. It's not dead, you know, because if you get a cut too close to your areola or like your nipple, it can all go dead, like dead tissue, and then done for. But mine luckily was almost there but not there, you know. So then yeah, he starts stitching me up and then all of a sudden this other girl come in and I'm like, sis, who is you? And she's like, I'm a student training, do you mind if I stitch you up? And I'm like, girl, this is my titty we talking about. How many patients have you had? She's like, oh no, it's not my first time. She probably was lying just to make me more comfortable, but I mean, my titties still together, so I guess she did a good job. And she started doing it, and like the doctor just sitting there the whole time, like, and I'm sitting there like staring at my titty because if she pick it up, I'm gonna cry. I end up walking back home and meeting my dad and my brother and my sister, and I'm walking home all the time holding my boobie up because I don't want like it to pressure fall down and then just flat back open. No. So at this point, I guess they already done picked up the bikes. I don't see my bike no more. So we walking in the house and my dad don't really care because it was my boob and he's like kind of a touchy subject. I'm not even gonna care. Then my mom's all like, look at the picture. Like, and my dad like, I don't want to see it. And then he looked anyway. He like, pretty cool. I mean, but it's just stitches. Everybody's seen it before. It's a movie. Everybody's seen it before. But like, yeah. So that was it. That was me getting stitches on my boobie. Hope you enjoy. That was my video.
Since it is cold and empty.